Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Work Friends podcast. Today, I'm joined by, I always do a terrible job introducing my guests, so I'm going to try and do a better job. But today, he is an electrician, he is a surfer, he's a drummer, he's a master of all trades. I think currently does contracts or something. Anyway, my dad is my host today. My dad, Paul.
I'm a contract administrator currently,
okay.
Yes.
There you go. All right, so he is a contract.
For electrical and generator facilities around the state of Virginia without saying who I work for.
All right. Cool.
I can say who I work for.
That's up to you. I don't know. Can you say who you work for?
I don't see why not. Why
okay.
can't I?
All right, we'll go for it.
I work for the Virginia Department of Transportation, and I'm in facilities,
nice.
and I do contract administration. I do the electrical and generator contracts for all the sites in the Richmond district, which is 16 counties, 48 sites.
Okay.
And I maintain the electrical systems and the backup generators for all those sites. Nice. And I have contractors that I use for a lot of the work.
Okay, so you manage those guys.
I do.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Well, we can get into that down the road, but I kind of like to, I guess when the show first started, I did like to start and just kind of go into whatever people are currently doing for a living and just kind of really dig into that. But I find it more interesting to hear about people's stories and how they got to where they are right now. So I've known you my whole life, and I guess I sort of know the story, but I don't know.
You even sent me a list of questions, and I read them about a month ago, and I never looked at them again.
That's okay. But, well, I guess we can kind of start. I like to start at the beginning. So,
you ask, I'll talk.
So you were born in, like, New York, right? Weren't you born there?
Yes, I was born in Binghamton, New York.
Interesting. But you didn't live there. You grew up in Virginia?
Yep. We moved to Virginia 4 days after I was born because my grandmother passed away.
Okay. Well, that is sad.
And my mom and dad moved back.
Okay.
Yep.
They kind of, okay.
That's the story I was told. That's
all right. Yeah.
That's all I know. I'll go with that. And
okay.
Then
fair enough. And
we lived
got
in
some
Portsmouth.
family and stuff up in New York too. So
we do.
All right. That makes sense.
You've met them.
Yeah.
You know.
I've met him a couple times. Yeah.
And then we stayed in Portsmouth for a little while and moved to Williamsburg and then to Richmond.
Okay. How old were you when you moved to Williamsburg, I guess? You said you were...
Oh, man, I don't even know. Probably 7 or 8.
All right. So you kind of grew up there, and then around high school age, you moved to Richmond?
Yeah, right before my freshman year, we moved to Chesterfield County.
Okay. Nice. So 8th grade.
Yep.
All right.
Well, yeah, the end of 8th grade, right before 9th grade.
All right. And you went to the same... you went to my middle school. It was now Manchester Middle School, but now it's high school.
Well, when I first moved up, I went to Clover Hill High School for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
And then we moved. Then they changed districts, and I went to Manchester.
Yeah.
So, and then they changed districts again, and everybody went to Monacan, but I stayed at Manchester because I was a senior.
Oh, okay. They just let you.
Yeah, I was going to graduate from there.
Huh, that's pretty cool. I always found that was weird because I went to the same middle school that you went to high school at. Same building anyway. But,
yep, same building.
Yeah. Well, this is hard. Never interviewed my dad before.
All right, well,
let's see.
yeah, I've decided I was just going to come on and be candid. You ask the questions, I'll answer them truthfully.
All right, no, it's fine. Okay, so you grew up around Richmond, Williamsburg.
Yep.
I guess after high school. So, all right, well, this is a podcast about jobs.
Yep.
So, in high school, what were some cool jobs that you had? Any part-time jobs? You didn't start out as an electrician right off the bat, right?
No, but the electrical work, I think every grandson and every son actually worked with your great-grandfather every once in a while, helping him because he was an electrician. So I know my Uncle Steve, your great-uncle Steve, worked for his father. I know me and Stephen and Kyle all ended up helping him at some point. So that was always when we were little. I mean, always spending summers down there working with him doing.
That was great granddaddy, right? So
yeah, that was your great grandfather. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
J.G. Adams.
And he was an electrician, so that kind of runs all in our family.
Yeah, we have a lot of electricians.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. Unfortunately, we're a hard-working family.
Unfortunately, well, I don't know what happened with me.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we always did that, but then my first job was actually at a place that you worked at. Mm-hmm. It was my freshman year, I guess in between my freshman and sophomore year, I got a job at the driving range.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Rockwood Golf Park, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And my job was, back then, it was owned by a guy named Marty Lear and his wife, and they had grass tees. And it was a nice driving range, and my job was I had to be there at 5 in the morning, and I had to take care of the tee boxes. So I'd have to go out, get all the trash off the tees, all the, broken tees and stuff.
Right.
Then I'd take the golf cart. Yeah, I'd take the golf cart and screen it and then put grass seed down, and then put sand on top of all the divots.
Okay. Oh, because they were actual grass.
Yeah, and then I'd move all the tee boxes back, and then I think I'd cut it twice a week with the cutter.
That's a lot more involved. Than
Yeah, and I made like $5 an hour, and I got one golf lesson a week.
Sweet. And you were what, in high school, you said? Or
I was in between 9th and 10th grade. I was probably 14 and a half or 15.
Nice. That's not a bad job either. You just kind of drive a little golf cart around and
Yeah, it was cool. And I had to be there 5 o'clock in the morning, so
yeah. Well, you're up for school anyway, I guess.
no, I wasn't. It was summertime. It was
It was a summer job. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was from 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning.
Goodness. All right. Well,
And your granddaddy wouldn't wake up and drive me, so I would have to ride my bike. You know where we lived, because you lived in the same house I did. I would have to ride my bike from the pool, from our house all the way down to the lake, around the lake, and then come out right there at that Sheets on Hull Street.
Oh, yeah.
And then ride up Hull Street, 4 miles?
Good God. It's like 2 miles.
Yeah, at 4:30. Yeah, like 4:30 in the morning, because your grandfather wouldn't wake up to take me to work, so I had to ride my bike. Yeah.
That's funny.
He'll deny it. He'll say I never asked him to, but I did.
Huh. So that's funny. We both worked at the same Rockwood Golf Park. I forgot about that.
Yep. It wasn't Rockwood Golf Park when I worked. It was Lear Golf, and then they got sold, and
okay,
those people took over that you worked for. They had it the whole time.
Yeah, when I worked there, it was not real grass.
Yeah, no, that's right.
What it is, rubber or something.
Yeah. And I really didn't quit there other than school was starting. I couldn't show up at 5 in the morning.
The summer ended and you just went back to school?
Yeah, I just went back to school. Nice. He had to get up and do it himself.
All right.
You quit there because you got severe cases of poison ivy.
That is true.
I
did quit there. So one of the other jobs that we had when we were working at this golf, so it's a driving range. So at the back they have a big net, 300 feet tall or whatever it is. But sometimes people would shoot it over the net, or the balls would go through, or whatever. So we had to go back. The owners would make us go back and collect the balls that were basically in the woods.
Yeah.
And it was riddled with poison ivy. And so one time, the first and only time I got poison ivy, I said all over my legs, like up to my stomach, I would say. I said, screw this, I'm out, I quit.
You know what's funny? I don't ever remember. I used to go back there. He had this weed eater, man, that was gas powered, and it had like a saw blade on it. Mm. And we'd go back there and cut little trees down with it. Geez. And I don't ever remember getting poison ivy back there doing all that, but I mean, I'm sure it was all over the place.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the putt and stuff like that. It was just a tee box.
Just a driving range.
Yeah, it was just a driving range.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Then I started the 10th grade, and I was excited to get my license. So I got a job at a fast food restaurant after I got my license.
Remember which fast food restaurant?
Yeah, I do. It was on Midlothian, where the Burger King's at, or Midlothian and Providence.
Oh yeah.
But back then it was called Delights, which was back in 80, I guess that was 83 or 84. Back then, all the rage was healthy food. So it was a healthy fast food restaurant, and what made it healthy was they had a salad bar. So
it was a salad bar, but also like burgers and hot dogs. And stuff like that.
Yeah, they had all kinds of stuff. They had burgers, and then
salad bar is pretty healthy for the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, it was nasty. I mean, I worked there. I loved it, man. Yeah. I used to make chicken sandwiches and stuff all the time for myself.
After your shift and stuff, you go home and.
No, I'd make them during the shift and eat them while I was cooking. Yeah, it was cool, awesome. Man. The managers there were pretty cool, but yeah, there were some strange people working there.
Yeah, you did that while you were in school or another summer job?
No, that was while I was in school, and then of course, I don't know. Your granddaddy told me I'd had to pay my own insurance. I used to just pay him money.
You'd pay granddaddy money.
Right, because I also bought a drum set in the 9th grade. So he'd let me finance it through him. So that drum set that I'm playing now, I bought that drum set for $800 brand new, and I financed it through Dad.
Yeah.
And I paid him monthly, and I just kept on paying him when I got my license for insurance. Yeah. So I don't know if I ever paid it off or not. I don't know if he made me pay it off. I might have a
couple payments like that.
Yeah. Well, that's called being a parent.
Yeah, but well, that's pretty cool. And you still have that drum set today.
I do.
You play at practice and at when we play. You're in a band with me also.
Yes.
So when you play at practice, when you play, sometimes you play it out. What kind of drum set is that?
It's a Ludwig, 1982 Ludwigs. Nice. I'm the second owner. I bought it used from a guy at Don Warner Music, which no longer exists.
Oh, it's a really nice.
Down on Libby Avenue, actually, is where it was at.
Don Warner Avenue?
Don.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anyway, at that point, I had my license, and I had a 1979 Dodge Omni POS. And a friend of mine named Jesse, who I used to hang out with, there was like a group of us that hung out and caused mischief in high school. It was Chris Blue, Kevin Michaels, Jesse Saunders, and Trey Goodman, and then myself and Charles Neal. And we used to all hang out, but we all worked too. Like Kevin delivered pizza. Chris worked for his dad at the restaurant he owned. Jesse worked at Plata Grande, which was my next job.
Nice.
Because Jesse was bussing tables there, and he said, man, quit that fast food restaurant. Come make some real money. You get like $5 an hour plus tips.
Pretty good.
Everybody tips you, and you're just bussing tables. So that's what I did next.
Okay.
That was in the 10th and 11th grade. And then another friend of mine, Fred Elliott, worked next door at Daryl's, where the cookout's out now, where the cookout's there now.
Right. I remember Daryl's.
Yeah. So Daryl's was right next door. My buddy Fred Elliott said, dude, I am cooking in the back as a broiler chef, and I'm making like $9 an hour.
The same guy that got you the job at the Mexican
restaurant? No, that was Jesse. But but Fred joined the Navy out of high school. But anyway, he said, dude, come work at Daryl's. You can make $9-10 an hour as a broiler cook. No tips for being a shit cook. So that's where I learned how to cook steaks and stuff like that.
Nice.
I went to work there, man. It was pretty cool.
That is actually helpful. That actually goes to show I only ever worked at a restaurant that was Jersey Mike's, which was just sandwiches. And that's all I know how to make now, really, is sandwiches. I can't cook to save my life. So
I know. I wish you still worked at Jersey Mike's. That was sweet.
Yeah, that was a good gig. You got a free sub at the end of every shift. That was nice.
Yeah.
So you worked at Daryl's. Was there any cool? What happened to that place? Didn't something happen to it?
I don't know what happened to it. I actually that was when I was a senior. So we've already fast forwarded 4 years of high school.
We can jump.
Yeah. So I was a senior in high school. And my buddy Tom, one of my best friends, Tom Lambert, we were inseparable in the neighborhood in Loch Braemar where we live. Mm-hmm. And it was me, Tom, I'm going to name drop me, Tom Lambert, Mike Hayes, Randy Skipwith. We caused a bunch of mischief in that neighborhood. I never got caught, so you were going to ask me about my childhood. I was a good kid.
Nice.
I never got caught, but I did cause some mischief. Okay. Everybody else seemed to get caught. Uh-huh. But long story short, Tom had moved to Racine, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And he came back that summer of my senior year, and he was working at Daryl's also. Man, we were having some good times back there.
Working in a fast food restaurant with your best friend?
Yeah, we were. But no, it wasn't a fast food. I mean, it was a sit down. Yeah, it was a sit down restaurant.
Yeah.
And we were. I
remember going there a few times as a little kid.
Yeah. We were both 18 years old, and we were just out of high school, man. And we were working there, and we were making money. We were both living at my dad's house, Yeah. Because I was getting ready to go to Old Dominion. Okay. And he was going to live in state for a year and then come down the next semester, and we were going to get an apartment together. Okay. Which is what happened. So, so, I mean, we were just having a great time, dude. We were closing that place at like 11 o'clock and drinking beer with the cooks, with the other cooks and stuff at the bar. But I remember one New Year's Eve, man, it was me and him because everybody in the kitchen called in sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was your job there again?
I was a cook. I did the broiler. That night, I was supposed to be the broiler chef, and he was doing like appetizers or something. Mm. But that night, there was only two of us back there. He was doing like salads, appetizers, and desserts, and I was doing the broiler and the fry cook and all the other stuff. Dude, that night went by so fast. It was like we got there. Yeah, we got there at 5 o'clock, and like 10 minutes later, the kitchen was a wreck, and it was midnight, and we were closed. Yeah, that's when the
Did you have waiters and waiters and stuff out there too, or was it just you guys? Literally,
it was just us. I mean, no, the waiters and waitresses were there, but
they can't cook.
Yeah, but we were the only ones in the kitchen, man. It was us and then the expediter. And at the end of the night, he brought us like 4 pitchers of beer and said, "You guys are going to be here cleaning a while.
That's pretty.
You did an awesome job. Take this." So anyway,
4 pitchers of beers. The expediter.
Yeah, the expediter. He's the one who goes up and takes a ticket that comes up and says like, "I need a filet mignon and this and that," and he sticks it on there. And
something's been hanging out for a long, like an order's been hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. And they put them all together they put all the orders together and send them out to the tables. So yeah, and then all during that time, of course, I was going down to your grandfather's house, and he was always doing something. So I was doing electrical work, sheetrock work.
And that was down in Portsmouth.
Yeah,
Yep. I know this for the people.
Yeah.
So you would go down and hang out with great granddaddy and do like electrical jobs on the side and stuff like that, and that was all throughout high school.
I'd help him with
really growing up
with he had an electrical maintenance thing going with a slumlord that owned a bunch of trailers.
Okay.
So
but he was just the electrical guy.
Yeah.
So you would go, okay, so you would go down there to the trailers and help him do electrical work and stuff like that?
I went to visit him, but I ended up working,
Okay. Is that, for the most part, where you learned all about, like, being an electrician? And
I mean, I did learn some stuff. Like, I learned what not to touch and what to touch, and
would you say you learned?
I learned how to break into a lot of trailers. I know that.
That's good. That's a handy skill to have.
Yeah, I did learn. That's how so you know how when your mom and I used to go look at houses and there'd be no keys and I'd come in and be like, oh, come on in. I'd come in through the back door. Yeah. He taught me how to break into because when we were doing service calls and people weren't home, I mean, he wanted to get the job done and get paid. They weren't paying him. The landlord was paying him.
Yeah.
So he'd break into the trailer, fix what he had to fix, and lock the door on his way out.
It was at least to lock it back.
Yeah. That's how I learned how to pick locks or not pick locks, but that's how I can get into your house.
Get around a lock.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I got you. Let's see. So we were at Daryl's. So that was senior year.
Senior year.
Said we skipped some. Was there anything else that you want to talk about in high school?
No, I mean just cutting grass and stuff. I mean, you know, I was always working. I was pretty entrepreneurial as a kid. I was cutting grass in the neighborhood, and
Liam got that from you. I had Liam
probably,
yes, and he was the exact same way.
Listen to his podcast. He was talking about when he was in school, he was selling T-shirts and stuff. Well, I remember in the 4th grade, I used to go. This was back when bubble gum was like 35 cents for 5 pieces, a pack of bubble gum.
Yeah,
I used to go spend $1 and buy 2 packs of bubble gum and go in there and sell them. You know, that's 10 pieces of gum. I'd sell them for 25 cents a piece.
Yeah, that's where he got it from.
I did that for a long time until they caught me. It was like I was like a drug dealer selling bubble gum to all the kids in the 4th grade.
You're dapping everybody up in 3rd grade, giving them bubble gum.
Yeah, but I remember they called my parents, and my mom came in there and was like, what's he in trouble for? And they're like, he's selling bubble gum to kids. She said, well, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
So,
way worse if you're selling
yeah, I didn't get in trouble, but I wasn't allowed to sell gum anymore. So
they had an issue with people selling, like kids selling stuff, and when I was in school too,
because they're not getting their cut.
That's right. Yeah,
that's what it all. Yeah, that's what it all boils down to.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, 10 pieces of gum for what? That's $2.50. I think I'd make off of 70 cents worth of gum.
That's pretty good.
You know, so that's $1.90 I was making every day. I mean, I was doing that every day.
Dang, that's impressive. And then you turn around and invest your.
Because when we lived in Williamsburg, there was a 7-Eleven I could walk from. I mean, it was like from here to the end of your street.
Wow.
There was that 7-Eleven. You've seen it. I've taken you down there.
The one in Lightfoot or wherever?
Yeah, that 7-Eleven. That was right. Me and my sister used to walk to that 7-Eleven all the time. They knew us in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's smart. I guess that is, pretty entrepreneurial.
Yeah, my mom wasn't mad at all. She was like,
why would you?
Why are you mad at the kid? You're going to suspend him for 3 days?
He's smart.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Should be proud of you.
That's right. That's right.
Let's see.
But I really wasn't a genius.
Yeah, well, you just like money.
So can I tell a sidebar story when my parents had me tested to see if I was?
Yes, you should. Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
So when I was in the 4th grade also, while I was selling gum and they called me a genius, I was also failing. So I didn't know it, but they took me, and this lady asked me a bunch of questions and showed me a bunch of pictures and everything. And I found out later that my dad and mom had me tested to see if I was and had a learning disability.
I mean, I guess not.
Nope. Turned out I just needed glasses.
Yeah, all right.
So I got glasses in the 4th grade.
That helps. Oh, man. Hey, did I take a test like that? This is all sounding very familiar. Did you guys have me tested?
No, you were tested for intelligence.
Oh, all right.
We were trying to get you into the gifted program.
Right. I've always had a theory that the gifted program was, for special ed.
Yeah, it might be. So then we were at Old Dominion, right? I left college. Tom was still living at my house, or my dad's house, trying to get his citizenship for the state of Virginia so he could get in-state tuition.
Oh, okay. Because he was from California.
Yeah. So I lived with my grandmother, your grandfather's mom, your great-grandmother. I lived with her in Chesapeake that semester. And, I just went to school and surfed. That's all I did. I mean, because, let me go back. I've been surfing this whole time.
Learn how to do that. How did you, I guess, going to great granddaddy's.
Yeah. When we were kids, going down to the beach and everything. And
Who taught you how to surf?
Your Uncle Steve kind of got me into it, or my Uncle Steve. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. My great Uncle Steve.
He bought me my first surfboard, and then I got a real surf. He bought me an old Bill Frierson single fin 2x4 stringer balsa wood that I used to call Thunderwood.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that.
And I remember catching.
Was I alive when that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it.
And I remember I caught my first wave on that thing, and I rode down the face of it, and I don't even know how old I was. But we were at the cabin, I think. I don't know where we were at. But anyway, I remember catching my first wave and riding on the face of that thing. And from that point on, man, I was hooked.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
I skipped school a couple times in high school when I got my license and drove down. And, yeah. But anyway, so all I did at your grandmother's house was I went to school and I surfed. I went to school and I surfed all the time. I mean, that's all I did. I got that new board for Christmas one year that my mom and dad bought me.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. I wanted to be a professional surfer, but that didn't work out. You know?
Well, you sort of were, kind of. Right?
Somewhat, I guess.
Weren't you sponsored by Sobe energy drinks or something?
No, that was the golf thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was the golf bag. I used to tell people I was sponsored by Sobe.
Well, you tricked me because I also tell people you were sponsored by Sobe.
No, I'm not that good at golfing. But no, then so while I was doing that, I wasn't working. You know, I was just going to school and hanging out. Yeah. And your great grandmother was feeding me, and I was gaining weight. And Tom was like, "Hey, I got into Old Dominion. I'm coming down." I was like, "Dude, we got to get an apartment because I have gained like 25, 30 pounds. My grandmother's feeding me to death."
To move out of my grandma's house.
Yeah, so we got an apartment. We got a furnished 1-bedroom apartment on 38th Street in Norfolk, right down from Old Dominion, from the campus.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've been to it.
Yeah, you've seen it. CJ lived near there somewhere, and I think I showed it to you.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street.
And man, we moved out, and it was on. Then we had a good time. We both went to school.
Nice.
But our grades dropped significantly. We had fun, and he worked. We both worked at Daryl's, by the way. He was still working at Daryl's up here
when you moved to ODU.
Yeah, when I moved to ODU, and then he transferred to that one, and then I just got a job there.
Oh, okay.
And at the one in Norfolk on Military Highway, which coincidentally is where I met Lori, your mom's friend, Lori.
Which is how you met Mom.
No, I met Mom another way.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I've always said it's a good thing that I didn't go to ODU with Allred because I would have liked to. He went surfing a lot, so I would have joined him, and probably, I don't know, maybe we would have made it, but maybe not. Who knows?
My grade point average dropped so bad that first semester, and it was like I left for school in August, so when me and Tom got our apartment, it was December before the second semester. My second semester of my freshman year started, and we didn't know anything, man. We just rented the apartment. We didn't know you had to get electricity turned on and stuff like that. So we lived there for like 2 weeks with no electricity.
Cold in December.
Oh, it was freezing, dude.
Yeah, in December.
It was freezing. But you know what? We weren't going back. We were like, we're out.
Yeah, you were kids out. For the first time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You'd bundle up and you'd take cold showers.
It's hard to go back after that.
Because that was back when, everything now is electronic. So in 1987, you had to write a check and mail it to the power company for your deposit.
Oh, man. And for your rent.
So you're looking at what, 3 days there, and then another 3 days for the check to clear, then another 3 or 6 days for them to.
Like now, they just flip a switch.
Yeah, they didn't have smart meters. They had to come out and actually put a meter in.
So you're looking at 2 week lead time.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks, man. It was 2 weeks.
Jeez.
We were cold, man, and it was a cold year that year. So,
was that the place? I know you've always told me a story growing up about a Chinese restaurant around that same time that you went to a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, that was a little later, but yeah, so that's the $4.18 lady, and I told your mom this story when we first started dating, and she didn't believe me, and then years later, it was proven to be true.
You have proof.
So. Tom and I used to smoke a lot of marijuana. I'm just going to be.
What? No.
We used to smoke a lot of pot when we first moved in there.
A surfer in the 80s? No way.
Yeah. So Tom and I would do that, and one time, I indulged in some cannabis, and I decided I wanted to go get some Chinese food. Well, Asia Carryout was a block up the street. So I walk up there with my pocket full of change, because we were broke, and I ordered 2 egg rolls and a drink or something like that. And the total cost was $4.18.
Pretty reasonable.
That's what I thought it was. So I counted out $4.18 in change, gave her the change. While she was counting it, I grabbed my stuff, grabbed my drink, turned around and walked out. Next thing I know, this Chinese lady is yelling at me through the window going, "I tell you $4.18, you give me $4.18. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I gave you. And she jumped. This thing is a bulletproof window, man. It was because it's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
They had a sliding window like this wide and about that tall. And that lady came through that window.
Like 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably that big. And she hit the ground. I swear she did a roll like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or whatever it is, Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger. And she rolled up onto her feet, right in my face. Her face was right in my face, and she had her finger out. She was going, "I tell you, $4.80. You only give me $4.80." I'm like, "That's what I gave you." By this time, I'm terrified.
Yeah, please don't hurt me.
Because I'm all stoned, and she's right in my face yelling, $4.80. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Here, just take what you want." And I'm holding my hands out, and she's taking the change. And she said, "There, I tell you, that $4.80. I was like, "That's what I gave you." So I was like, "Whatever, lady, I'm getting out of here."
The issue, yeah.
I left. So now we'll fast forward. This is when did we get married? 92? 1992. Oh, we had bought our first house over here. You may have been a baby. Yeah, so this was probably 7 or 8 years later.
Okay.
So right up here on Hull Street, there's a Lucky 7 Chinese restaurant. Christy's like, "Let's go in there and get some Chinese food and go home."
The one near the food line?
No, the one where Kmart used to be, where Gold's Gym's at now, right up there by Applebee's and all that other stuff in that shopping center.
Yeah.
It's still there, as a matter of fact.
Really? Okay. Huh.
So we walk in and we order our stuff, and this lady's looking at me. And she goes, "Hey," this lady speaks good English. She was like, "Hey, did you used to live in Norfolk?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And she turns around and she goes, "Hey, Mom, is this the guy?" And this old Chinese lady looks out from behind the thing and she goes, "Yeah, that's the $4.18 guy." And your mom looks at me and she's like, "I can't believe that was true."
That's very funny. It was $4.80.
Yeah, not $4.18.
480.
480. But your mom never believed that story.
And then walked into proof.
7 years later, walked into a whole city away, 2 hours away from
I
where.
never knew it was in a different city. I thought it was back down there.
No, this was in Norfolk, and then we were in Richmond. So they had moved up here, and
small world.
Yeah, and that girl was little. She was smaller.
Yeah.
But I remember that little girl being in there.
Oh, yeah. When she was a kid.
When she was a kid. And she was like, "Hey, did you used to live in Norfolk?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Hey, Mom."
That's funny.
I
always thought that story was very funny.
Yes, I enjoyed that story very much. I like telling that story because it's hilarious.
It's a good one. So when you were in college, you were surfing and, hanging out with Tom and all that stuff.
Yep. And Perry. I met Perry down there, too.
Oh, really? That's where you met Perry?
Yeah, me and Perry and Tom hung out a lot.
Huh.
Three Stooges.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And we all surfed and we all hung out and partied and had a good time. We all failed.
That was the next question. What were you studying, though, before you...
Political science.
No kidding, really?
Yep.
I never would have guessed that. Huh.
Yep, political science. I'd started out in history because in high school I loved government, man. I had a great government teacher. His name was Kirk Cox. He was a delegate in Virginia, too.
Really? Okay.
And when I was working downtown with the state, I'd talk to him. I said, "Mr. Cox, you were my favorite teacher in high school."
Really?
Yeah.
When did you tell him that? When you ran?
I don't know, a few years ago, maybe like
so you
7.
ran into him recently.
Yeah, this was like 7 or 8 years ago.
That's pretty neat. I still keep up with my government teacher from high school, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was also Mom's government teacher.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But Kirk Cox was funny, man. He was a great teacher. He got me interested in politics, and so I went to college, and I didn't know what I was going to major in marine biology, but that was too hard.
Yeah.
There was a lot of classes you had to take in that, and all of them were self-paced while I was smoking pot and drinking beer and surfing and working. So self-paced was not for Paul.
Self-paced was slow.
Yeah, my self-paced at that time was, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
There's waves. So anyway, that's about that. And then, I don't know. That was the working down there. I did that. I worked with your grandfather or your great grandfather part time. I worked at. I also, to get food because we were broke. I used to sweep floors at a place called Anthony's on Hampton Boulevard. It's gone now. It used to be next to McDonald's. But I walked in one day and I told the lady, I was like, "Hey, are you hiring anybody just for part time or something?" She goes, No. I was like, "Well, how about if I like clean up and take the trash out and everything for a sub?"
Okay.
And she was like, "I can do that." And I was like, "Okay."
That's not a bad deal.
I did that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I did that for like 2 semesters.
Just come in and sweep the floor and...
Yeah, sweep the floor, take out the trash, go clean up the bathrooms and stuff, and clean the kitchen, take the grills out of the vents overhead and wash them out. And I did all the stuff that she didn't want to do. And
it's worth a sandwich.
dude, she would feed me. I mean, I could go in there anytime during the week and she would feed me.
Oh, no, you didn't have to. It didn't have to be like a day you were working.
No, I could go in there anytime and she'd
cool.
like, you want a sandwich? I'll be like, yeah, I'll take lunch.
That's
So
awesome. I need to find a place like that around here.
Yeah. But I got to the point where she really liked me, man. And I was going in there and watching Monday Night Football, and it's like having a grandmother. She'd bring me a sandwich and fries and pitcher of beer.
Yeah, 2 grandmas down there.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Well, the other one I couldn't get to because my car was a piece of junk. Every time I drove it 5 feet, it overheated.
Dodge Omni.
Yeah, that thing was dying.
Was that the one that got stolen at a 7-Eleven?
Yes, it did.
Nice.
Yeah,
How did that happen?
When
you were in college too?
No, that was in Richmond. Me and your mom were dating. I had moved back to Richmond.
Oh, okay.
And I was working at the Butlery, which was a catering company.
Oh, okay.
And I told this guy I would give him a ride home, the dishwasher. And I think he was involved in the stealing of my car. But I stopped to get gas at 7-Eleven on Boulevard and Broad Street, and that 7-Eleven's still there today. And I asked the guy, I was like, are you getting out? And he goes, no, man, I'm not getting out. So I was like, all right, I'm going to leave my keys in the car.
The guy that you worked with.
Yeah, I worked with him. I was taking him home that day. He lived down on 0 Street out in Gilpin Court.
Sure.
Yeah. So I go in to pay for the gas, and I tell the lady, give me $5 on pump 1. And that lady looks outside, and she goes, there ain't no car at pump 1. And I was like, what?
That's crazy.
I looked outside and my car was gone. So I go outside and I look over and that guy's name was Keith. He was standing up against the phone booth smoking a cigarette. And I was like, dude, where's my car? He's like, I don't know. I had to get out and make a phone call.
What the world?
Yeah, he was full of crap.
Yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, he was in on that.
And then didn't they find the car a couple weeks later?
On 95 North, broke down and out of gas.
Broke down on him.
So the funny part of that story is while I was at the 7-Eleven filling out the police report, Keith had gotten a ride home from somebody, so he left.
Keith's the guy that was with you?
Yeah, he's the guy who lived down in Gilpin Court that I was giving a ride home. So I'm filling out the police report, and the state police car pulls up and drops these 2 guys off, and we noticed them, and they just walked up and walked into the 7-Eleven. Well, come to find out, when they found my car, they called me from the impound yard, said, hey, your car's down here. I know it was reported stolen, so I went down there to get it. And the guy said that the state policeman found him on the road, and they said the guy that owned the car had left with the keys, and they were just waiting for him to come back because they ran out of gas. So he gave him a ride back to where they stole the car from, basically.
Gave him a ride back to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
You guys that stole your car.
Yeah.
Got a ride back from the cops. That is pretty funny.
Anyway.
Oh, man. Well, that happens. That sucks.
It only happens to some people.
Yeah.
Man, they stole all my surf racks. I had nice surf racks on that car.
That's devastating.
They were a gift from your Uncle Steve, man. They were K&A racks. They were the nicest surf racks you could get, man.
There's also, like tennis racks or something were in the back.
Tennis rackets. Yeah, they stole everything out of there.
Nice one.
The funny part was my checkbook and my paycheck were shoved down between the driver's seat and the center console.
They missed it.
They never found it. Yeah,
Sweet.
They missed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Lucked out there, I guess. You lucked out on getting
yeah. So that was that.
That's the Albus kind of luck.
Yep. I guess you get your car stolen, but you keep your paycheck.
Yeah, so
which I had to pay impound fees.
That's nice. But all right, so that was college. And did you have any other jobs other than working at Daryl?
Yeah, man.
Didn't you?
I quit Daryl's to go surfing. I called in and said I wasn't coming into work, and that guy said, I know there's waves today.
Yeah.
So you better come into work, or don't come in at all. I said, okay, well, I'm not coming in at all. I'll see
I
you
got
later.
There's waves.
Yeah. So after that, Perry had a job at the Holiday Inn Waterside.
Okay.
Bussing tables.
Yeah.
So he said, dude, they're hiring room service people. And I got a job at Holiday Inn Waterside doing room service right across from Norfolk Scope, man. It was pretty cool.
Right across from the arena?
Yeah, that was a sweet job, dude. I was making like $6 or $7 an hour plus tips. I mean, I'd walk out of there with $100 a night, easy.
That's pretty good.
And I got to do room service to Joan Jett.
Oh, wow.
Molly Hatchet, Van Halen, but they weren't in the room, unfortunately. Their manager was there.
Okay, well.
Shoot, who else did I do? Did I say Molly Hatchet?
You did, yeah.
Oh, Rod Stewart. I mean, all kinds of guys. Because there was a tunnel from the motel to the
arena.
Yeah, to the arena. So
and they would just go. The artists would just go underneath. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So you met those people other than
I met all of them, but Van Halen, they weren't in the room.
Didn't you say Joan Jett was real short.
Joan Jett was a tiny thing. She ordered a pack of...
chance she listens to this show.
Yeah. She ordered a pack of Marlboro Lights and a Three Musketeers bar. And back then, candy bars were like 35 cents. And cigarettes were like $2.50.
Nice.
So I take it up to her room, and she signs a ticket and gives me a $20 tip.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she wasn't paying for it.
Good
You know,
tipper.
why not? Yeah.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Rod Stewart.
Oh. What'd he do?
Yeah, I'll probably get sued for this, or you will, not me.
Yeah, I will.
So I do room service to Rod Stewart, and I knock on the door, you know, knock, knock, knock. This guy answers the door, man, and he is humongous. Like I couldn't even see his head. Because his head was above the door frame when he opened the door.
Oh my God.
And he took up the whole space.
Yeah,
like he was a big fat guy.
It's like a refrigerator.
And you know, Rod Stewart was in the back. And this guy's like, "What can I do you for?" And I'm like, "I got his ice cream." He ordered ice cream. I guess he was getting ready to sing.
Okay. Does that help?
So he's like, "Your ice cream's here." He said, "Have him set it on the table." So this guy moves out of the way. I walk in and I'm setting this thing on the table, and there's Rod Stewart. And he's sitting in a chaise lounger like this. And he's got this big furry robe on, big purple furry robe and big purple furry slippers. And he's sitting there and his TV's on. He's just sitting there and he's like, "Take care of the man for me." And so the guy's pushing me towards the door, and he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out 2 tickets to his show.
Oh, okay.
While I was at work, his show is in 15 minutes. I look at it.
Doesn't help.
Yeah, I look at the tickets. I'm like, "Hey, this is for tonight. I'm at work." And about the time I said work, the door slammed. That was it.
What the heck?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah. So I called Perry and I said, "Hey, man, you're not working tonight. I got 2 tickets to Rod Stewart." And Perry was like, "I don't want to go see Rod Stewart."
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So the tickets never got used because we weren't big Rod Stewart fans. We were big AC/DC.
Okay. Well, that's a little better.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame you.
Which me and Perry went to go see them, and it was the loudest concert I've ever been to.
AC/DC?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Didn't you say they were like shooting off cannons and stuff?
Yeah, it was for those about the rock tour, and
That's
it
awesome.
was loud.
What year was that? 19?
It had to be 87 or 88.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we spent 3 days, and all we heard was "Whoo."
You had tinnitus. That's probably why you can't hear it.
And we'd walk around the apartment going, "Hey, what? Hey, what? Who?" Yeah, because all you heard was "whoo" in your ears. Yeah, it was crazy. So
Well, that's pretty cool. Is everyone's favorite part of the show where I have to take a break and go to the bathroom.
oh yeah, me too. I'll do that.
All right. We'll be right back, folks.
All right.
Hello. It's me, your friend, Tyler. Just wanted to say, this episode is sponsored by The Card Guys, Richmond's go-to shop for Pokemon and sports cards. Whether you're hunting Charizards, chasing rookie cards, or ripping packs for the thrill, The Card Guys have the singles, sealed boxes, and live breaks you want. You can find them at 4915 West Broad Street, Richmond, Virginia 23230. They are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and also Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and they're closed on Sundays. You can follow them on Instagram at _card_guys with an S. So that's THE_CARD_GUYSS_ to see new arrivals, live breaks, and events. That's at The Card Guys with an extra S to see new arrivals, live breaks, and events. And that's on Instagram. Anyway, that's The Card Guys, where Pokemon trainers and sports fans score big. Cool. Thank you. Hey, pardon the interruption. I wanted to take a second to thank our first sponsor, BetterHelp. Let's be real, work can be a lot. Whether it's that one coworker who emails you like it's a legal battle, a boss who thinks urgent means right now, or just the quiet dread of another Monday. Sometimes you need more than venting to your work friends. That's where BetterHelp comes in. It's therapy, but online. It's flexible and built around your schedule. You can chat with licensed therapists by text, phone, or video. There's no waiting rooms, no commute, no awkward small talk with strangers in scrubs. It's not too weird. Your mental health matters, and not just when you're in full meltdown mode. even a little support can go a long way in helping you feel more grounded, more focused, and honestly just more you, more human, want to feel like a person again. So I've used BetterHelp. It's great. I like it personally. I can vouch for it. So if you've been thinking about therapy, check out betterhelp.com/workfriends. You'll get 10% off your first month just for trying it out, just for being part of the crew. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/workfriends with an S, workfriends. Take care of your mind. Work will be there tomorrow. Yo, and we're back. All right, when we left off, we were talking about Joan Jett and room service, and that's the last thing I remember, right?
Yeah, room service.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was a pretty cool job. So Joan Jett, Rod Stewart, who's Molly Hatchet.
Molly Hatchet. Yeah, I partied with them.
Really?
I did.
Invited you into the room, and
Man, I tell you what, I took them a bunch of stuff. Like I took them 2 12-packs of beer, a bunch of food. And when I got in there, I didn't know who they were. You know, I mean, I knew who Molly Hatchet was, but I didn't know they were Molly Hatchet.
Oh, yeah.
And there was about 12 people. It was a double room. I don't know what they call it. It wasn't it was just like, it was better than a regular motel room because it was like a suite.
Yeah.
It had like a living area and 2 bedrooms, and then it was connected to another suite which had a living area. So people were going back and forth between the two, and somebody told me that they were Molly Hatchet. I was like, really? I didn't know any of them in there. Yeah. So Riff West, I think he was a bass player or something. We started talking and everything, and I didn't think about it, and they didn't think about it because they were drunk. But they were like, hey, well, I said, how do we pay for all this stuff? I said, well, you just sign a ticket. And they signed it and everything. I said, well, we don't have any way to tip you. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. They were like, do you want to hang out for a little while? I was like, sure, I'll hang out for a little while. Awesome. I can't stay long, though, because I got stuff happening.
3 hours later.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Really?
It was 2 or 3 hours later, man. I was plastered.
It's awesome.
And when I was leaving, I was like, hey, you guys can sign the ticket and put a tip on there, right?
Really?
So they did. I don't know how much they left because it was a long time ago. And I went down that service elevator and I was drunk, man.
That's crazy.
And I got down there and this lady named Jackie was our manager. She was like, where have you been?
Oh, no.
And she looked at me and she saw my eyes all red. And she goes, you're messed up, aren't you? And I was like, yes, I am.
Hey, you're on. Did you get fired? Did you keep that job?
I did not get fired. He was cool about it. Yeah. And she was like, you got to go home. I was like, how am I going to get home? I am wasted. Yeah.
I had to stay here.
Yeah. So I went out. I actually had rode home with Perry. Perry was working that night and he was a waiter and he was mad at me because, he had to cover for me. So he was bussing tables, waiting tables and running room service. Yeah, because I was up there just having a grand old time.
Oh, while you were gone, while you were partying.
Yeah, while I was partying with Molly Hatchet. I didn't know it was 2 hours later, dude. Yeah, I was like, holy crap, it's been 2 hours. I got to go.
I thought it was 20 minutes.
Yeah, it did. That's what I thought. So, yeah. But anyway, that was my Holiday Inn experience.
That's pretty cool. Not many people can say they've partied with Molly Hatchet and brought cigarettes to Joan Jett.
I bet you a lot of people can say they've partied with Molly.
Well, not many people that I know. How about that? You might be right about that.
Yeah, but I had a drumstick autographed by Riff West. Why he autographed a drumstick, I'll never know. I don't know where it's at, but one of you kids had it. I gave it to one of y'all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know who has it. Katie might have it.
You signed that one.
Yeah, I signed that one, but so anyway, and then during this whole time, I was also working with your great grandfather on Saturdays and Sundays and stuff.
On weekends, doing
wiring houses. Yeah,
I'd work like electrical work. Or...
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that was pretty much it for Norfolk.
Okay.
I met your mom and moved up here.
So you met Mom while you were in when you were in Norfolk?
Yeah, through Sonia.
Okay. Which also ODU.
Yeah. So her boyfriend lived upstairs. Upstairs. No, upstairs next door to us. His name was Chris, I remember. Mm-hmm. And Sonia was dating this guy, and they were coming home one morning. I remember it was 4 a.m. I remember it vividly. It was 4 a.m. and there were waves. And I was loading my car. I was going to the beach.
You're getting ready to leave.
Yeah, I was leaving to go to Virginia Beach.
Dawn Patrol.
Yep. So I was loading my car. I was either going to Virginia Beach or Kitty Hawk. It was probably Virginia Beach because my car wouldn't make it to Kitty Hawk. I mean, it was a 20-minute drive to Virginia Beach, and sometimes it took me an hour to get there because that thing would break down. But anyway, I was headed to Virginia Beach, and they were just coming in. It was like a Saturday night or something, so it was Sunday morning or something like that, or Friday night and Saturday morning. And that's how I met her. She was like, "You're going surfing? It's 4 a.m." I was like, "Yeah, nobody will be out, you know.
That's the time to go.
I'll get there by 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'll have it all to myself for, you know, because that kind of stuff didn't bother me back then.
What?
Surfing at night, surfing,
yeah.
I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff." So anyway, when I got home, that, you know, they were all just getting up, you know, it was probably noon or something, and they were all going back their separate ways.
Oh, when you got back from surfing?
Yeah, and then I was talking to Sonia in the parking lot. She asked me if I had any pot. I said, "Yeah, I got some pot. You want some?" So I gave her some, and she said, "Hey, we're having a party over at my apartment, and I got a friend coming down that I'd love for you to meet." And I mean, I'd seen. I'm going to fast forward. This was a few weeks later. She asked me for the pot.
Okay.
But we had talked to each other, and because we had classes in the same building and stuff. So she had seen me for a few weeks, and then she told me that she had a friend that she wanted me to meet.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I met your mom at that party. Yep.
Nice. That's how I met your mother.
Yep, that's how I met your mother at that party.
All right.
And we've been together ever since.
Cool.
And I moved back to Richmond, and that's when I got my real adult job.
Okay.
After failing out of college.
Okay. So after college, you moved back to Richmond and you got your first real adult job.
Yep.
What was that? Wasn't that?
That was working at the butlery.
Working at what was that again?
A catering company.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew I wasn't going to do that forever. I mean,
it was just a job.
Yeah, it was just a job to come up here and have some money so I could court your mother.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. I see. That's why you moved for a girl.
Well, I moved back home.
I got you.
I failed out of college and I moved back home. Things were going kind of south down. In all honesty, down in Norfolk, I was headed in down a bad road. I mean, we were partying all the time,
surfing.
Yeah, surfing and smoking. I mean, I was just like, you know what? I can't do this much longer.
Yeah.
So one Christmas, I came home for Christmas and I took all my clothes and everything I wanted out of the apartment. And I never went back.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you tell Granddaddy, your dad, you were moving back in?
Yeah, I told him I was coming back. I said, I'm not going to school anymore. I'm just partying and having a good time, and it's not a good place for me to be. And I met this girl. She just happens to live in Richmond, so I'd like to move home if you'll have me. He said, come on back.
There you go. It worked out.
So I came on back, yeah.
So
something about that chair I had. I had a chair that I brought home, man. It was my favorite chair. It was a big one like this one.
Oh, okay.
I brought that thing home and put it in my room. My mom goes, that thing smells like weed.
I've never
It
even
did.
seen this.
So I didn't keep that chair long. I threw it.
That's pretty funny. So that was
that was in what
was the name of the catering place again?
The Butlery.
Butlery. I don't know why I can't remember that.
I moved back up here, I guess, in 88 or 89. Yeah, I mean, it was probably, let's see, 87. Yeah, it had to be the beginning of 1989 or middle of 1980. No, it was Christmas, so it had to be the beginning of 1989 when I moved back up here.
Okay, wow. Working at the Butlery.
Yeah, working at the Butlery. I did that for about a year.
What were you just at weddings and events and stuff like that?
Yeah, man, we did all kinds of stuff. Weddings, private parties. We did the grand opening for South Park Mall.
Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah, the governor was there. We did a bunch of stuff. I had to learn how to do French. What do they call it? French service.
Oh,
where you got a towel wrapped around. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do all that fancy stuff, and we had to wear tuxedos and stuff. I mean, it was a high class place, and I used to steal Dom Perignon champagne bottles from there.
Nice.
And me and your mom and friends would go down to the Outer Banks and party like we were millionaires, you know.
Dom Perignon.
Yeah, we'd go down to the Outer Banks for the weekend, and I'd have Dom Perignon in the toolbox of my Toyota pickup truck.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I bought a Toyota pickup truck while I was working there.
Okay.
And
oh wow, you're making solid money, I guess.
Yeah, I bought a little red Toyota pickup truck. You've seen it. It had put surf racks on it, and
yeah, it's badass.
We used to cruise down to the Outer Banks every weekend. If I didn't have a catering job, we were gone.
Really? Did I ever see that in person? Was that around when I was okay?
I had sold it, and we bought a 4Runner because of you.
Well, you're welcome. The 4Runner was also pretty cool. But did any cool jobs or anything? Any cool catering jobs or anything while you're working at the Butler?
Mainly just South Park Mall was pretty cool. The governor was there. There was all kinds of people. I think the president was down. I mean, I don't know. It was like the biggest mall on the East Coast at the time.
Wow. Cleverly?
No, South Park. Down there in Petersburg. Now it's the trashiest mall around.
It does suck. I hate going over there.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, so that was the Butlery, and then after that, I guess did I come into the picture yet?
No,
not yet. So electrical work.
Yeah, so I decided you know, I already know a little bit about this. Why don't
From great granddaddy.
Yeah, why don't I?
Double G.
Yeah, yep. Working with him all those years and working with him part time, I knew I didn't want to work at the butlery forever, so I was like looking through the paper back when you looked through a paper for a job.
Well, that's a very old-fashioned statement.
Yeah, and I saw this ad for a company called Humphrey Electric hiring helpers.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, I'll go apply for the job. So I went and applied for the job, and they hired me.
All right.
So
what was the interview? You just talked like one guy, and
I talked to the owner. Yeah, Dick Humphrey.
Okay.
So I went to work for him, and you know, the rest is history, I guess. So they say I worked for him, and I worked for him for a half a year because I didn't know you had to go to apprenticeship school.
Okay. Like a trade school.
Yeah, to get your journeyman's card. So I mean, I worked for him for a couple weeks. And he called me into the office, and I was like, well, what the hell am I doing wrong? You know, he goes, I hired you as a green helper. You know, you're working circles around these guys. You know more than half the people on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I told you I'd worked with my grandfather a little bit. He goes, how much is a little bit? I was like, I don't know. Since I was a little kid, I know how to wire a house. You know, any trained monkey can wire a house.
Roughly 15, 20 years.
Yeah. So yeah, he was like, well, you're not a green helper. So he started me in school, and he gave me credit for work hours. I took a test, and they gave me credit for work hours. Okay. Or I think Granddaddy wrote a letter. I don't remember. Somehow when I was in my first year of apprenticeship school, I had the equivalent of a third-year apprentice for work hours. So in my second year of apprenticeship school, when I finished that, I went and took my journeyman's test.
Okay, so you like skipped a grade, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. Because you're supposed to take 4 years of apprenticeship school before you can take your journeyman's test. Okay. Well, I took my journeyman's test after my second year. I got my journeyman's card, and I still went to my third year of school because, number one, Dick Humphrey wasn't going to pay me back unless I finished the program.
Okay.
Because I had to pay for it, and he was going to reimburse me.
I see, yeah.
And number two, I figured, why not finish it? I mean...
Yeah. You're already there.
Yeah, I'm already there. I'm not. It's only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
So after my third year of apprenticeship school, I had my journeyman's card, and you needed to work a year as a journeyman before you could take your master's. So after my third year of apprenticeship school, I took my master's and got my master's card.
Okay.
And then I went to my fourth year of school, and I finished that.
And had him. But you already had your master's.
I didn't even need it, which I told the teacher that one time.
That's pretty cool. I'm sure they.
I was late for class, and he was a real turd. Uh-huh. But he shut the door just to kind of make me an example because I was late a couple days. Uh-huh. And he'd shut the door on me, and I'd stand there and I'd knock on the door, and he opened it up, and he told the class, hold on a second. And he walks out in the hallway, and he starts talking to me. He goes, you've been late 3 nights in a row or whatever. And I was like, look, man, I'm not going to say his name because he still lives in the area, and he might listen. Who knows? So I was like, look, Mr. X. Yeah, we'll call him Mr. X. Right. Look, Mr. X, I don't need your stupid class anyway, okay? He's like, oh, you'll need it. You'll never amount to anything. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. So I pulled my wallet out, and I handed him my master's card, and he looked at it, and he went, get in the class.
Get in the class.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I told him, I said, I'm just here to get the credit for the class. And in all honesty, and this isn't a joke, between me and Dick Humphrey's son, Chip, we had the highest grades in the class and we're passing all the tests. So me and him graduated with I think we were tied with our GPA or something.
Top of the class or whatever.
Yeah, for the top of the class.
That's pretty nuts.
Which ain't hard to do with rednecks. I mean,
But hey, you're good at what you do. You're a good electrician, I guess.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
I used to be a good electrician.
Yeah.
Now I work for the state.
I guess with Humphrey Electric. How long did you work there, you said?
I think I worked there. After that, I worked there for about 5 years.
Okay.
And I was a master electrician, so... Now, that being said...
Oh, yeah, wait, let me ask, what does that mean exactly? So there's journeyman, apprentice, journeyman, master?
Right, master, yeah. Okay, master is basically you can own your own business.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can get your Class A contractors and...
Okay, journeyman, you can work
on... Yeah, you can pull permits as a master electrician, so technically you can get your own business going.
I never understood.
Which was my ultimate goal, after your mom and I got married, yeah. That was always my goal, actually, to get... Once I started doing it and I liked what I was doing.
Yeah.
I decided, I'm not going to work for somebody else.
Fair enough. I don't blame you.
I didn't like, I don't like taking orders anyway. So I had always had the goal of starting my own business. And after your mom and I got married, we had talked about it. And that's what I wanted to do. That's what she wanted me to, that's what she wanted me to do. You can delete that, can't you?
Maybe.
All right, I'll do a take 2. Yeah. So after we got married, that's what I wanted to do. That's what she wanted to do too. She was very supportive of me starting my own business.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was the ultimate goal. But I had to go through a few jobs to get to there too. I went to Reynolds Metal, and I worked there until they had an explosion in the plant, and I was like, screw this, man. I'm not getting killed in this place.
What was Reynolds Metal? Was that like
an extrusion plant? They made tubes for mufflers. They basically took hot molten metal and formed it into whatever they want. They had 8 presses in there.
Okay, it's like metalworking place.
Yeah. They made Reynolds Metal is known for aluminum cans and Reynolds aluminum, aluminum foil and stuff. Okay, but they also make industrial things, and this was the industrial side of it where they made parts for Ford. They would mold hot melted metal. Molten metal, and they'd put it through a press and press it into a form, and they'd form and it sucked. It sucked really. No, there was a bunch of us, but that place was so nasty and dirty.
I believe it.
It was like working on a giant car motor while you're inside the engine compartment. I mean, it was just I wasn't even allowed to I wouldn't wash my clothes after work. They had uniforms. I wouldn't wash them at home because it would ruin our washing machine. We had to buy a new washing machine.
All the like chemicals and stuff that were
just the oil and the grease. Ugh. And then I got kicked out of a laundromat because I was washing my clothes in there, and I ruined 2 or 3 of their machines.
They banned you from the laundromat?
Yes, they did. No, it's all over the ground, man. Oh, wow. They had an explosion in there that killed 2 people, and a fire spread through the place because it was just hydraulic fluid. I mean, it was just nasty, dude.
90s, whenever.
Yeah, this was probably in 90. Well, you were born. Oh. No, you were almost. I don't remember. I was working there. I know I had a pager. Let's go back. Okay. I had a pager that I'd bought, because your mom was pregnant with you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So I had a pager at work because I was working 3 to 11 at that time. Okay. That's the other thing. It was shift work. I got lucky and got to work there for the first 4 months during the day, regular, 7 to 3:30. And then I got put on the 3 to 11 crew.
That sucks.
Yes, that sucks.
The worst shift you can have.
But after you were born, it worked out because I'd work 3 to 11. I'd take a shower there at the workplace and I only lived 5 minutes away. We lived right over here.
Oh, yeah.
So I would get off at 288, get to the house, come home, go right to bed. I was in bed by midnight every night.
Not bad.
Your mom would wake up and go to work at 8. When she left for work, she'd wake me up, and I'd take care of you till about 2 o'clock when my sister, your Aunt Christy, would come over.
Oh, yeah?
And your Aunt Christy would babysit you from like 2:30 to 5.
Okay. Well,
when your mom got home. Yeah.
Where was mom working then at that time?
She had just gotten a job at the Federal Reserve, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that's where she got her job at first. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
she might have been. You can interview her.
If she would ever come on.
Might have been Signet Bank.
She's going to come on here.
Might have been Signet Bank. But anyway.
Okay.
I went from Reynolds Metal after they had that explosion. I just told the guy, I said, I quit. And he was like, you can't quit. I said, oh, bullshit. Go get security. They wanted me to fight the fire. I was in the break room when that thing happened.
Oh, yeah?
So this explosion happened, and everybody's like, what was that? What was that? And I'm in the break room eating dinner, and the maintenance guy comes busting in there and goes, Albus, come on, you got to help us fight this fire. I was like, dude, I'm not a firefighter.
Yeah.
I've never been trained to fight a fire. I'm not fighting shit.
Yeah.
I'm following this guy right out the door.
I'm going with him.
Yeah. So I went out the door, and then they wanted to write me up, and I said, you can write me up all you want because I quit.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't work here anymore.
He was like, you can't quit. I was like, yes, I can. Go get security. I'm rolling my toolbox out of here today.
Yeah.
So I got home, and your mom's like, what are you doing home? And I was like, I just quit my job. And she was like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
You can't quit your job. And I was like, it's all right. I'm going to start my own business. So,
all right.
I did get a job at a place called Piedmont Electric.
Yeah.
And I did that so I could get some experience doing explosion-proof electrical work, doing gas stations and stuff. Mm. And I did that for about 6 months, and then I started looking for work. I went and got my business license. I went and took my Class B contractor's license test.
Okay.
and my buddy Kenny Beasley, who you've heard me talk about.
I've heard of
the
him,
Bees. Yeah. I worked for him, and that's where I met Matt. But I worked for Kenny, and I told Kenny, I was like, look, man, I know you started this company a couple years ago, and I know you need help, but you don't need help all the time. Here's the deal. I'm starting my own business, and if you let me work for you, I will work my ass off for you while I'm there. But when I got a job to do, I'll let you know in advance. He was like, you know what, man, that'll work. Why don't you come to work? So I would give him my schedule, you know, when I started getting work.
Yeah. Which
took a while. I mean, I worked for him probably 4 months before I started actually getting work where I had to take off.
Yeah.
So I would work for him, and then I'd give him my schedule. Say, hey, next Tuesday and Wednesday, I got something to do. He'd be like, that's cool, man, whatever. And then it just kept getting, hey, man, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm a little busy. And then it was like, hey, I can't work next week. And then it was like, I can't work this week either.
Eventually it was there.
Yeah. And then eventually it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was like, look, Kenny, I think I'm done. I'll come work with you. He was doing a Rite Aid, and I was like, I'll help you finish that Rite Aid.
He was doing like commercial stuff, I guess.
Yeah. But I can't guarantee you when I'm going to show up. You know, I mean, you're almost done with the Rite Aid. I can be there like Wednesday, and I can be there next Monday and Friday. And then after that, you know, I think I'm done. He's like, that's fine. I appreciate the help. And, you know, I was like, I've always been, I know I make fun of Kenny and I give him a hard time.
Yeah, but you're still friends.
Yes. He was very decent. I mean, he really,
that's good.
He really got me started.
Okay.
By being generous enough to let me work and pay me for my time, of course.
Being pretty lenient with
yeah. And then also, you know, giving me advice and helping me get started and
starting
stuff
your own
like
company.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. That's nice of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I never really knew that about old Kenny Beasley.
Yeah, I mean that's why I always
that's
why I always tolerate him.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty funny.
No, he's a nice guy. I mean, and you know, I've known him since high school, and we played in bands together.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, he was in the first. He was in the first band I ever played a gig with. You know, in the 9th grade.
Yeah.
I think the name of the band was Climax or something. We played a Battle of the Bands at Monacan.
Nice.
We lost.
Where? Oh, you lost in the Battle of the Bands? That's
nice. We lost.
I meant to ask this earlier. Where did you learn to play drums? How did you pick that up? We brought it up earlier, and I meant to ask, but I forgot.
You know, your granddaddy played the drums. So I guess when I was little, he played them. And then when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade, I got in music class and played the drums and learned to read music. And then I got a drum set for Christmas one year.
Nice.
And I played that till we moved to Richmond. And then that's when I bought that other drum set.
Cool.
So I don't really know. I mean, I never took lessons on a drum set, but I took music class. You know, I did the band thing where you play the snare drum or the bass drum.
Yeah. Were you in like not marching band or anything?
No, it was just
regular band.
Yeah, regular band, whatever. We did the Christmas pageant.
Do you remember when I went to middle school and I tried to sign up for the band and I wanted to play the percussion?
I do.
I want to play percussion like you.
Gave you the flute.
They gave me they said no, you can't. Yeah, here's the flute.
Yeah, here's a flute. That lasted a year.
Fun of for the next 3 years.
Did you play it for 3 years?
No, I only played it for 1 year, and then I quit because who wants to play the flute?
Yeah, who wants to play the flute?
Yeah.
Although your Aunt Christy played the clarinet and she loved it.
Oh yeah, she did. Well, you know, now I would win instruments respect a little more now, but I still wouldn't want to play the flute.
Yeah, the flutes. I mean, if it was a fife,
yeah, sure.
Then you could say, hey, man, I play the fife. How many people play a fife?
No one. That's what the Revolutionary War guys.
That's right, the Fife and Drum Corps, which I did put my name on.
Fife and Drum Corps.
Yeah, but you couldn't.
Oh, when you were in Williamsburg.
Yeah, you couldn't be over 13 or something. They didn't want you over 13. Once you turned 13, you aged out.
Drummer boys.
And there was only 3 people. You know, there were 2 fife players and a drummer.
Yeah.
And they would march around in front of all the guys in the thing. Yeah. And I remember my buddy, I can't remember his name, that I knew in music class.
Okay.
He played the drums.
So he was really good.
But he also played the fife.
Oh, okay.
And he learned the fife because the list for drummers was super long. There ain't but so many. Yeah.
Revolutionary War.
Yeah. At the Colonial Williamsburg Fife and Drum Corps. Well, there ain't that many fife players. Okay. So he was pretty smart. He got to play in the Fife and Drum Corps.
That was pretty smart.
God bless him. He learned to play the fife just so he could be in the Fife and Drum Corps, even though he was a drummer. And just cool. Like CJ joining the band, learning to play keys.
Oh, yeah. He just wanted to be in the band.
He just wanted, yeah. But anyway, I think around 96 is when I finally had enough work to, and it was just me. And you remember Lamar? Lamar worked for Kenny too.
Yeah.
Well, Lamar was also working for me when I was running jobs at Humphrey Electric. Lamar's been around with me for a long time.
Okay.
So when I left, I told Lamar, I was like, dude, hang out with Kenny for a little while. I don't have enough work to pay somebody. But, you know, I'll get you on board as soon as I get enough work. So 96, I think, is when I started doing that independently. And, and after a while, I called Lamar and said, all right, give Kenny your 2 weeks notice and stuff. And
we got it. We can
work. I got enough work to pay you, man. Come on.
Cool. So, when you were first starting out, you had to go get like a business license and all that stuff. How did you figure all that out? I mean, this is also kind of before the
what the heck was that?
I don't know.
Did the power go out?
No, I think that push that white box in a little more.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Very loose. We have loose outlets in this house.
Yeah, do you know an electrician?
I do know. Yeah, I know one.
Yeah. How come?
There's a lot of the outlets in this house.
Well, we'll have to change all those.
Yeah, but good thing I know an electrician.
All right, where were we at?
We were talking about
I lost track. We were talking about Lamar.
Right, Lamar starting business up.
My business license. Yeah. How did I figure all that out?
Yes, yeah.
Your mother.
How'd you do that? My mom.
Your mother.
Okay.
I was the back. She was the brains. I was working. She was telling me what I needed to do to get my business license, insurance. She was making all the phone calls.
Interesting.
On the side, you know, at work while she was at work.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I went and took my Class B test. I mean, I knew what I had to do. I just didn't have time to do it at that point. Oh. I mean, every once in a while I'd go, you know, to the county and get permits and stuff. But for the most part, your mom did all the behind the scenes business license, insurance, paying the taxes.
Having to get permits for work.
Yeah.
You have to do that every time you have a job. You have to go get like a permit.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know that. I remember as a kid going around with her a couple times.
Yeah, and picking up material for me too.
Yeah, you remember that.
Yo, they know you at Capital Electric. Scott and Jimmy know you. Yeah,
they remember me.
Yeah, they ask about you every time I see them.
Huh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, they're like, "How's your son doing?" I'm like, "Well, he's old now, just like the rest of us. Just like the rest of us."
Yeah, that is true. I am old. But
so yeah, that's how Albus Electric got started.
Cool.
And
I never knew.
Yeah, it was up and down for a long time, and then.
How do you get your names out there? Just going around house to house? How do people find out about you?
I literally would put you in. You were a baby. I would literally I when I was babysitting you and your mom was at work and I didn't have anything to do, you know, because when I was working for Kenny, you know, I'd have work for a month and then I wouldn't have shit for 2 weeks. So I'm not going to pay a babysitter when I'm sitting at home. I would throw you in the van. You remember the old red and gray van?
Yeah, the van was sweet.
I'd throw you in the van and I'd ride around to job sites, basically.
Yeah. Like houses and stuff.
I'd see people building houses and I'd stop and I'd get out and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm so-and-so. Who's the builder?" And they'd say, "So-and-so is." You have his number. They'd give me his number and I'd call him up. And that's how I got a lot of work, man. Just going out there and just calling people and say, "Hey, I made a price list of what I would give you per square foot of the home you were building based on the electrical code. And I knew how much it cost me to buy all the material to wire, you know, let's just say like this house."
Yeah.
How big is your house? 1,000 square feet?
I think 1,100.
Okay. So I knew what it took to cost, you know, it'd take me 4 rolls of this, 2 rolls of that, a roll of this, a panel, a meter, boxes and all that. I knew how much all that cost, and I broke it down into a square footage price. And like I was at that time I was charging $1.40 a square foot.
Okay.
So
that's how you gave your price to people.
Yeah, because everything was cheaper back then. I mean, you know, a roll of 14.2 was like $12. Now it's almost $100. You know? I mean, that's the difference. Really? Yeah, it went up.
Jeez.
2008, which we'll get to eventually. Oh. So anyway, yeah, I had a whole price sheet lined up based on the electrical code saying I'd give you a ceiling fan in here, ceiling fan in the master bedroom, 2 phone outlets, 2 cable TV outlets, wire your house to code with outside, you know, 1 set of floodlights and this and that, all for $1.40 a square foot. And people were like, "Yeah, we'll do that."
Pretty good.
Because everybody was paying by the outlet. So the square foot price was a lot easier to figure up. And every time they added an outlet somewhere, you know, it cost them more money.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But if you're doing it to code, because there were guys in there putting outlets every 4 feet, you know, running the price up. No, the code's every 12 feet, actually.
Ooh, okay.
6 feet from the door and every 12 feet after that.
I see. So normal people were charged, not normal people, but other people were charging them by the outlet.
Yeah.
And you were charging them by
the and they would put in, you know, like this living room right here would have, you know, 20 outlets.
I see. That weren't necessary.
Yeah, they were unnecessary. I mean, And the builders were catching on to that, and they liked what I was doing. And next thing you know, man, I was rolling. I was doing a lot of residential work.
Right. That kind of made you stand out, I guess, amongst contractors and whatnot.
Yeah, I made a lot of enemies.
In the electrical field. Well,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah. And then a lot of people started, a lot of the people I know started structuring their pricing by the square foot.
They started doing it like you did?
Yeah, to compete. I mean, because I ended up, that was in 96. So by 2000, I had 2 trucks on the road. And by 2004, man, I had 12 employees and 6 trucks on the road.
Dang, that's good. Two people a truck, I guess.
Yeah, 2 people a truck. I had 2 commercial crews and 4 residential crews. And,
wow.
And the residential side was my cash flow. The commercials didn't pay as fast.
Oh, yeah. Because they were longer projects, I guess.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They were longer projects.
That's wild. I didn't know you had, that was the biggest it got.
That was the biggest it got.
That's pretty big. I mean, that's kind of impressive.
I mean, we did a lot of restaurants. We did Taco Bells, McDonald's. Mm-hmm. I did some churches. I did a lot of car washes. I got hooked up with a company called Wash Tech.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, and I did a lot of car washes for them. I did a lot of. I also had some maintenance contracts with gas stations, like
BP.
Yeah, and I got into that because
Scott.
Your mom's cousin, Scott, owned those gas stations.
Okay.
So I signed a maintenance contract with him, and then I got another maintenance contract from so-and-so and another one from this guy.
What are maintenance contracts? Just you come regularly?
Yeah, we agree on a set price for fixing certain things. Like my maintenance contract with Scott was just an hourly rate plus materials.
Oh, okay.
And it was like whenever you call me, you know, I can be out there within a certain amount of time. If it's an emergency, if it's not an emergency, that kind of thing. So I think my maintenance contract with Scott was basically, hey, dude, you pay me X amount of dollars per hour. I'll come out there whenever you need me, you know, a handshake type thing.
Okay.
The other ones were more like in writing where it was like, you know, I get a 2-hour minimum for coming out, you know, no matter what. If it's, you know, if it's a light bulb out or I got it. Yeah, exactly.
So it takes you 10 minutes.
Yeah, the contracts were a little more complicated. So
okay.
Anyway, I had a few of those, but yeah, it was pretty good. You know, we had a condo down at the beach. We were rolling, man.
Yeah, it was big. Got pretty big on.
We were rolling.
12 employees, 6 trucks. You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Obama.
And then
Obama. Then we got a new president in 2008, and everybody panicked, and the housing bubble, they called it a housing bubble, which I guess it really was. I don't know how legal all of this stuff was, but if you didn't have the down payment to buy a house, which you couldn't afford, right? Mm-hmm. So here's what was happening. People were buying houses that were making, let's just say I made $20,000 a year. Well, I was going out and I was buying a $1,000 house. Ooh. I can't afford that house. And I sure can't afford the down payment. So what they would do is they would give you a mortgage on they'd give you, basically you'd move in, you'd have 2 mortgages, one to pay for the down payment for the house.
Okay.
Because you take a loan out on the down payment and then,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That makes 0 sense.
So all this was going on and that was just happening over and over and over, and people were upside down in their houses.
Yeah.
And they couldn't sell them and they couldn't pay for them. And then all of a sudden, they called it the housing bubble. The freaking housing bubble burst, and I could see it coming because the year before,
that was a nuts plan for one.
Yeah, it was like 2000. I want to say it was October of 2008. Starting after the election that November, around December and January, I was scheduled out. Literally, I was scheduled out 6 months
from November or whenever.
Yeah, from November to like May, and it was like that for years, dude. I mean, I never had a problem getting work.
Yeah, up until
point. So what happened in 2008? I started noticing, it's now February. I don't really have much going on after April. And then in April it was like I don't have much going on past May. And then it started getting like, well, shoot, in May I don't have much going on in a week, in 2 weeks, and that was on the residential side. And then all of a sudden,
which was your bread and butter.
Which was my cash flow. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the bottom dropped out. Banks started panicking. A bunch of banks and financial institutes closed up. I mean, just the whole housing market crashed.
Wow.
And that was fine. I had plenty of work, but the commercial side, they started getting tight with their money. So like in a commercial job, if you're doing, let's just say a restaurant, they come in and you do all the slab work in the slab. You get a draw for that. You come in and you do the rough end of the walls and the ceilings and stuff, and you get a draw for that.
A draw,
come in,
like some
yeah,
money come to you.
Yeah, you come in, you get a draw for everything you do, basically. You know, like usually every 3 or 4 weeks or a month or whatever it averages out to, depending on the schedule of the job.
Okay.
So then the draws started going from every 30 days to every 60 days. Well, by then,
they were holding your money back longer.
By then you owe, you know, I mean, I was spending at my heyday, I was spending probably between $34,000 and $40,000 a month just in material.
Jesus.
That didn't include my payroll.
Yeah,
my payroll was about $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then taxes on top of that.
My
so you're looking at, you know, $50,000 a month. Actually, my payroll was $12,000 a week. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I had 12 employees. I'm just rounding up.
Okay, yeah.
It was more like 10,000, but still, that's $40,000 a month.
That's a lot, yeah.
So you're looking at about $84,000 a month
in materials and payroll.
That doesn't include insurance. That doesn't include gas. That doesn't include miscellaneous stuff.
So if your commercial job doesn't pay you 60-day hold,
I'm strung out.
Yeah,
yeah. So I had a credit line that was getting tapped out, and
that's annoying. They should just be able to do that.
So I started out with some people I had that really weren't very good workers. You know, they were the type of guys that would get paid on Friday and then not show up on Monday, but show up on Tuesday broke. You know, and so they were the first to go. And I mean, I had to do something because I had that was a very stressful time for me. I'm just going to tell you that. Because technically I'm taking care of my family. Yeah. But I also had 12 other families I was looking at, you know.
That is a good point.
I told these guys, hey, you come to work for me, we're good to go. You know, you work for me. And I considered everybody to work for me part of my family too. Yeah. So, and you know the people that work for me. I mean, Matt worked for me. Yeah, he's had 3 kids. Kevin worked for me. He had 2 kids. John worked for me. He had 2 kids. All these people had kids, man. Yeah. And here I am, you know, they're looking to me for leadership. And I don't know what to do. I'm losing money hand over fist, and I'm trying to take care of them. I'm trying to take care of y'all. That would be nuts. You know, I'm trying to take care of my family. I'm trying to pay bills. I'm trying to get work. Ugh. So
sounds like a nightmare.
When I finally came to the realization that I couldn't support all these people, I had to start letting people go. So I started with the single guys. Sorry, single guys.
I don't blame you. I mean, that's where I'd start.
So I let the first 4 guys go they weren't married. They didn't have kids. You know. Yeah. One of them lived at home, so they were out.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
I just told them, you know, and here's what I did. I wasn't complete, like you show up for work and you're gone. Yeah. I was like, look, man, you can work this week and I'll pay you. Any vacation time you have after that, I'll include that in your paycheck. So if they worked the week and they hadn't taken any vacation that year, I paid them for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So they got like a little leave,
right. But I was putting all this on my line of credit because I wasn't getting any money coming in. Yeah. So, you know, I did this for a couple months and then I'd get a draw on something and I'd be able to catch up a little bit. And then this just got worse and worse and worse.
I remember it was that church that was.
Oh, my goodness. I don't even want to talk about that.
We don't have to.
No. That was a big money job and they were tight on paying. But the worst one was a restaurant I did on Hull Street. Yeah.
Right across the street from that
church.
Yeah.
So.
I could say I don't care.
No, I don't want to say. I don't want to say the name of it because I still know the group.
Good call.
But
all right.
Let's take a break here so I can go pee now.
Sounds like a plan. We'll be right back. Yo, pardon the interruption. This episode of Work Friends is brought to you by Fat Skippy, Richmond's premier classic rock and country cover band. Whether you're into classic rock anthems or country favorites, Fat Skippy delivers an unforgettable live music experience. Plus, a huge shout out to them for providing the microphones and audio cables for the podcast. Am I in this band? Yes. Does this still count as a sponsor? Also, yes. Anyway, check them out on Facebook to see where they're playing next and support local music. It's Fat Skippy. Check this out on Facebook. Thank you. Back to the show.
Yeah, so where did we leave off? At the downfall of Albus Electric?
Yeah, that's right. We were firing single guys.
Yeah,
first to go.
Your dad's company was hemorrhaging cash. like a volcano erupting. But yeah, so anyway, I fired all the single guys first, because it really troubled me.
Yeah, of course.
That well, for one, it troubled me that I was watching my business collapse and I couldn't really do anything about it except keep trying.
Yeah, that would be devastating.
But my line of credit was only, X amount of dollars. So I just kept going, man. I just kept working and working and working, finding work, doing work, paying for it, and then waiting, 60 days, 90 days to get paid. And then I had to make another round of layoffs, right? Yeah. So I laid off some more people. I finally got down to to where there was really no housework really going on. So I didn't have that cash flow. And even the home builders were not paying you as fast as they would. I had two builders, actually the guy that built our house recently. Oh, yeah. I had him. He was doing things. He paid me regardless. He didn't never. Gary was really good. That's why I asked him to build my house recently.
That makes sense.
Gary's a really upstanding, really, really great guy. The other guy, I really appreciate him. He paid his bills, but he would always find something to deduct out of them. Like you didn't clean up the trash. You tracked mud on my front porch something stupid. So he still paid me, and I just started just doing their work. Anybody else that called me? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not doing it because you don't pay me fast enough.
Just those two guys work.
Yeah. So I finally got down to two guys, and I'll say their names, Steve and Doug. Doug Ward. Mm-hmm. Steve and Doug worked for me, and Doug was actually, this whole time, I'm playing in the band too now. Fat
right,
Skippy's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So
same band that we have, Richmond's premier rock band.
That's right. Do your
classic rock cover band.
That's right, and we sponsor this podcast.
That's right.
But yeah, so I had Steve and Doug working for me, and dude, it finally got so slow. Okay, let me back up. Mm-hmm. The last four guys I had working for me, I can't remember the other two guys' names, but I got them jobs at other companies.
Oh, okay. All four of them?
Yeah, all four of them. Wow, Steve included. Mm-hmm. Steve got his own job, and then I got him another job after that. But all the other ones, I did like a work placement thing for them. I called friends of mine in the business, and I was like, hey, I got these guys. They're really good, Can you give them something to do? And they were like, yeah, we can give them something to do. So I gave that to them. I was like, look, you don't have to take this job, but, it's a job. Yeah. And jobs are getting hard to come by. So a lot of them took it. Okay. But yeah, and then after that, it just kind of, I finally got to the point, before all that happened, I called your mom because I was supposed to start a car wash in Virginia Beach, and I was coming back, and we got down there. I had bought all this material. We were going to go do the slab work in this car wash and start the project and do all the site work and everything. And I was coming back because when we got down there, I had 2 vans, 4 guys, plus my blue truck. Rode all the way down to Virginia Beach to start this car wash. It wasn't even close to ready for us. I mean, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks out
for you guys to come in there and
do the slab work and everything.
Work and all that. Huh.
So I called your mom on the way home, and I said, I think I'm done.
I can't do. Yeah.
I think I'm done, man. I was crying. I mean, I was broken. Yeah. I was crying on the way home going, I cannot do this anymore. I can't take the stress of it. We're broke, Yeah. We had this condo down in the Outer Banks that we were struggling to hang on to. Mm-hmm. I mean, things were really going south for me. So I came home and I wrote a letter to everybody saying that I would work out my remaining service contracts and finish any projects I had going on. But I was done. I'm not taking any more new work. And that was in 2008, near the end of the year. And I finished my last little project, which was a house for Gary. Okay. In 2010. Man. That was the last one I did in 2010. And then I got Steve a job somewhere, and I moved on. Actually, you remember I was home a lot that year? I took remember I was home for like 6 months.
I would have been in 10th grade, I think.
Yeah.
I guess, sort of, I kind of remember that, yeah.
Remember we were buying all the generic grogroceries? I was doing all the grocery shopping and stuff.
I sort of remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were in a bad spot, man. Yeah. And
that would be very, very hard. I wouldn't be able to.
Now, all that being said, could I still be in business for myself if I had just stuck it out? Probably. I would have probably survived. Okay. Mentally, I couldn't do it. I was done. I
was getting ready to say, I would have folded like a school.
No, mentally I was broken, man. I mean, and that was in 2010. And I found another job at a place called Intelligent Access, which was not very intelligent.
Where my sister thought you did security. She thought you were a security
you thought
guard.
I was a security guard. That's right. I did access control work and low voltage work for Dominion Virginia Power.
Yep.
But yeah, so it literally took from like 2010, I worked there till about 2012. And that's when it all hit me, you know, and that's when I kind of had my, I don't know what you'd call it. I was very unhappy, but it just hit me and I realized.
Working at Intelligent Access.
Yeah, I realized, holy crap, dude, I'm a loser. I went through from like 2012 to 2016. I went through this whole self-loathing period where, you know, your mom and I weren't getting along. I wasn't getting along with anybody. I mean, I don't even think I was playing music, was I? Yeah, I was.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know if I was or not. I
know I was away at college, so I feel like I missed a lot of it.
Yeah, you probably, a good thing too, because I was depressed, man. I mean, I would come home, I'd just start drinking, I'd sit there, and I wouldn't say anything. You know, I was just miserable.
Yeah.
Because I was a failure, and I would let my wife down, I let my kids down, I let these other 12 families down. You know, I let my dad down. I had to close my company. I let my whole family down. My uncle, you know, he was sporting the Albus Electric hat and the Albus Electric sweatshirt.
Yeah, of course. I don't think it let us down. I think it was.
No, I know. That was all in my head.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, all that was in my head. And so anyway, I was at Intelligent Access, and I applied for a job at the state of Virginia. That was in 2010, I think, is when I applied for the job at the state. Well, I got a phone call in October of 2011 from the state of Virginia saying, hey, do you want to come in for an interview? I was like, interview? Interview for what, lady? She's like, you applied for a job at Department of General Services?
Oh, so you got a call like a year later after you applied.
I was like, I did? She was like, yeah, you did. It was a long time ago, though. I was like, really? Okay, sure. I'll come in for an interview.
Yeah, sweet.
So what happened was the governor had put a hiring freeze on. That was Tim Kaine. He had put a hiring freeze on. The new governor was in. Mm-hmm. And anyway,
he just came up last night when I interviewed somebody the other night. Tim Kaine came up. It's just weird, you know.
Yeah.
I don't remember why he came up.
We shouldn't mention his name. You talk about the devil, he shows up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, look, he's at your door.
You say it 3 times, Sylvie.
Yeah. Oh. Easy. So anyway, so I went for the interview and they hired me, you know, and I worked at DGS till I guess it was 8 years. I worked there till 2019.
It was what is it called?
Department of General Services.
Okay, and that was for VDOT? Or?
Yeah, no, that was for the state of Virginia.
Oh, okay.
I worked, I actually ended up doing all the sound for the governor when he made speeches and stuff.
That was when you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's it called again? Department of General Services?
Yeah, Department of General Services.
Okay.
I worked downtown. I was in the tax building, which is now the lottery building.
Oh, okay.
But I was also, they found out I played in a band and could work the soundboard.
Oh, so you did the sound guy.
So I ended up doing the sound for the governor every time he made a speech. I
remember all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I did sound for 3 governors, I think. 3 or 4. Yeah, and when our favorite governor, Ralph Northam, got to be elected governor, I did one event for him, and I called HR and I said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot. I don't agree with him.
And like him.
They basically told me to shut my mouth and do my job. So I said, okay,
nice.
That's fine.
Uh-huh.
So every time he had an event, I was sick. I had plenty of sick leave. You know, I had like 80 hours of sick time.
Can't do it that day. Sorry.
Yeah. So every time, I wouldn't even tell anybody in advance. I'd call in that morning. Sorry, I can't come in today. I'm sick.
I bet they were.
So they'd have to get somebody else to do it.
Uh-huh.
And then your mom found this job at VDOT and I applied for it. And, you know, looking back, I don't really know why she was looking for a job at VDOT for me. I mean, why was she looking for a job at VDOT for me?
I don't know.
Exactly. But she found this job at VDOT and I applied for it and they hired me. And I tell you what, this is where I'm supposed to be right now.
Nice. Yeah, you seem pretty happy there. I will say that.
This is as close to being in business for myself as I could be.
Nice. And you don't have the pressure, I guess, of like, you know what I mean? If something goes wrong.
Yeah, I get paid every 2 weeks regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of going a month and a half or 2 months without a paycheck, I get paid.
You don't have to wait for someone else to pay you before you can pay yourself. Yeah.
And so long story short, the guy I work for, my supervisor.
Currently?
Yeah, currently. He's awesome. I mean, that's why I say it's like being in business for myself. He doesn't get on my back about what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. He knows I'm the electrician. He knows I'm the expert at what I do.
He's not micromanaging.
No, he doesn't micromanage. He tells me we have a meeting once a week and we do like a catch up thing where I tell him what I'm working on, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And unless it's a project that he's working on, like a remodel or something like that, he really doesn't get involved with what I'm doing.
Nice.
I just tell him what I'm doing every week, and I basically go around to these 48 sites all over the state of Virginia, from Ashland to Bracy.
Okay.
And then from Haydensville out west all the way to Slatersville and going east.
Okay.
In the Richmond district. And I look at these sites. I determine what needs to be repaired, what upgrades I can make.
And they're just VDOT sites?
Yeah.
Like just
VDOT sites.
Wherever they store vehicles and stuff like that.
All the sand and
road maintenance stuff
like
that. Okay.
Yep. And I take care of all the generators and make sure they're all running, and I do upgrades. And like I said, he doesn't bother me. I've been doing it I've made a lot of improvements around here. I've changed all the lights to LED now, and all over the VDOT stations in Richmond.
Improvements.
Exactly. I mean, that's my job, so that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
And I have contractors that do probably 80% of the work.
Yeah.
I do probably 20% of it by myself.
You spend a lot of the time. A lot of times when I call you, you're on the road, so you spend a lot of your time. What's your, I guess, average day look like? What's the start of your day look like? You get into the office at 7?
I'm in the office at 7. I usually check my emails first. I have one contractor that's always on site at about 7:15. I mean, he's always on a job site. If he lives in Ashland, and if he's got to go to Bracy, he just leaves early and he texts me on site 7:00.
Nice.
So
that's good.
Anyway, I usually go in there. I don't normally have a lot of time to eat breakfast at home, so I get those frozen burritos your mom buys me. So I usually go in there and check my email and eat my burrito and
frozen burritos.
Yeah. And if I have to make a trip somewhere, I usually leave between 7:30 and 8:30. Depending on what's happening.
Yeah.
If I have some invoices to do, I'll do invoices. If I got other stuff to do, I'll do all my paperwork and stuff and then hit the road. Tuesdays we have a meeting, so I usually don't get out of there until about 10. But other than that, it's a typical day, and I'll ride to these job sites, check on the guys, see what they're doing, see if they're doing it the way I want them to, bounce ideas off of them.
You kind of just decide where you're going. Like you say it's been 2 weeks since I went out to Hanover site or wherever.
Yeah.
So you say, all right, let me go check on that. Okay. So
I'll be like, you know what? I haven't been the other day. I hadn't been to Bon Air site, which is by the state police station on Midlothian. So I was like, you know what? I haven't been there in months.
Yeah.
So I rode out there the other day. Well, guess what? They didn't know it because it's not wintertime, so they're not using the salt domes. The salt domes is where you keep the salt in the sand. Mm-hmm. And they make the brine for the roads of salt water they put down on the roads before a snowstorm. Okay. So I just rode around the lot looking at pole lights and stuff to see what lights were working, what lights weren't, just seeing what's happening.
Checking stuff out.
Yeah. So I ride back there and I see where a tree had fallen across the fence. And we had an overhead line running to one of the buildings that took that line out. So they haven't had power back there for, I don't know, who knows how long.
But they didn't know.
They didn't know because they're not going down there to fire up the brine pumps or anything.
Makes sense.
That's coming up in October.
Yeah.
So I happened to catch that. So as a matter of
it's a good
fact,
thing you're going around checking these.
Yeah, we just finished it today. He just finished rewiring it today. So, but yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Like I'm going to.
I had no idea.
I got to go down to 85 South. Well, I'm in training now. We just did front loader training, which is cool. I got to drive a big front loader, like a bulldozer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, big front loader that has the bucket that goes up that you scoop dirt up with.
Huh.
Tomorrow I got aerial training, which is bucket truck stuff.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, but I got my electrician is starting in Burnt Store, which is down near Bracy. So Thursday I'll probably ride down there and check on him.
Okay.
We're putting up some new pole lights that I ordered, so we got to cut pavement. I mean, there's a lot of coordination.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting the VDOT guys to cut the pavement so we can trench across it.
It's all got to be timed so they come out there and finish that before you can do the next thing. Okay.
Yeah. I'm basically a project manager / contract administrator /
site
paperwork guy. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Paying invoices and
sounds like a pretty sweet job to me. Honestly, it sounds pretty similar to my job. That's kind of what I mean, I've got say 100 sites or whatever, like hospitals and clinics and stuff that I go around to. And I haven't been to Roanoke in a month. Let's go check out and see what they're up to.
Yeah. And we also have a work order system. So like if you
have issues that come up.
People put in work orders and I got to go check them out.
The same here. You're kind of doing my job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I really like it. I think it's where I'm supposed to be right now, especially at my age.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. You seem really happy, and you seem.
I love that job, man.
Nice.
I mean, it literally is close to being in business for myself.
Cool.
And
That's
know, of course, I still do work on the side. Like I'm wiring Danny's house now.
Yeah. So you're still kind of in business for yourself, which is what you wanted to do. Back to
Yeah, but now I get paid all the time.
Yeah, which is
And
nice.
Danny's house, I'm doing that one for free. Remember, because he's going to come and do that addition. Yeah,
yeah.
we're doing side work for each other, so we've worked out a bargain.
Well, that's a good skill to have. Being able to do
Yeah, I
stuff
mean,
like
when people call me to do side work, I go out there and do it.
I'm glad you can do that stuff.
And I get paid for it.
Like you've done a lot of the stuff in this house.
Yeah, I haven't been paid for it yet, though.
Yeah, well, you're drinking a free beer right now.
That's right. I am. So I don't know.
All right, cool.
That's about it. That's where I'm at now in life.
Nice.
And it's probably a good thing. My knees are shot, my elbows shot.
I know he's wearing a bunch of
braces.
I gave him a ultra, infrared light the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay, cool.
But we didn't talk about like the surfing and the drums and stuff.
Oh yeah, so you are a drummer. I mean, yeah. So we're in a band right now. And,
Yep. Fat Skippy's been around since 2005.
Yeah. How did you get started with Fat Skippy? How did that come about? I mean, you were playing in bands before I was even born.
Yeah, I played in a lot of bands. Like I started out with Kenny Beasley in that band Climax in high school,
which is like a hair metal band.
Yeah. We played a lot of Van Halen. He's a Van Halen guy.
Yeah.
Then I played in a band called Asylum, which was a hair band.
It's a really cool name
in high school. Yeah. And they got kind of regionally famous for a little while in Richmond.
Asylum.
Yep. They played at all the, Newgate prison and
cool.
little bars down on Gray Street. That was when we were in high school. And I quit that band to go to college.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And then they really took off after that. They got a real drummer because,
checks out.
I'm the world's most okayest drummer. Let's see. Then from Asylum, I came back to Richmond. And I didn't play in any bands. I played in one band down in Norfolk, but it was like a one-time thing. Mm. Then when I moved to Richmond, I was dating your mom. I played in a band, and it was a one-time thing. Yeah. We played some party out in, I don't know where it was. It was way out in the boondocks.
Was it one of those deals where like you get a bunch of guys together, you practice like 4 times? And then
we didn't even practice 4 times.
Oh,
they knew one song. It was Red Rooster by the Rolling Stones.
I don't even know that song.
And dude, I swear we played an hour-and-a-half version of that song.
Great.
It was just a guitar player jamming.
It was a Fish concert.
Yeah, it was. So, and then when I was in business for myself, I had the account at Capital Electric, and I walked in to buy some stuff, and I heard my buddy Jimmy Crenshaw talking about his band needed a drummer. And that was in like 98 or 99. And that band was called Smokin' Joe.
Oh, yeah, I remember that band.
Yeah. Huh. And I was like, dude,
oh, yeah.
I play the drums. I haven't played in a few years, but I'll play. So I played with them, and then I was like, you know what? This is really cool. I kind of like doing this again.
That was what got you into it, I guess.
Yeah, it got me back into music again.
I remember my entire life, you've always been in bands and played drums. And now I'm in a band, and,
Yep.
That's been, my whole life you've been in bands.
So I played for Smokin' Joe, and then I played with Rodney in Down and Out.
Down and Out, yeah.
And we did that for years, and I just got tired of playing what everybody else wanted to play. So I started Fat Skippy. Actually, Fat Skippy started because we were playing with Down and Out, and we were playing at the biker runs they do. What are they called? The poker runs?
Yeah.
Well, one of the stops was at an Outback Steakhouse, and Rodney had booked Down and Out to play there.
Sweet.
It was outside on a thing, on a trailer. And I told Rodney, I said, hey, I got a couple friends coming by that we've learned like 5 or 6 songs. And I said, because you know how I am when we're playing. I don't like to take a break.
Yeah.
I just keep playing until we can't play. So Rodney he was a 10-song break, 10-song break.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he'd do 10 songs, take a break, 10 songs, take a break.
Interesting.
So I was like, when you guys take a break, do you mind if I get these guys up here to play? And he goes, no, I don't care. So we took our break, and Rodney said, what do you guys call yourself? And your mom, we had Skippy. Your mom was in the audience and had Skippy. And I was like, what do we call ourselves? Holy crap. I looked out and saw them, and I was like, Fat Skippy.
That's pretty good.
And Fat Skippy's been around since,
And we are 18 years later, however many
No,
years.
That had to be in like 2004, 2005, something like that.
Holy crap. So 20 years later?
Yeah, 20 years later, dude. I counted up all the members we've had. We've had like 38 different members. I made a list of them. Yeah, I did make a list of them.
Wow. That's pretty neat. And now I'm part of it.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yep. And you're going to inherit all the stuff. You can change the name if you want, but all the equipment's yours.
I think Fat Skippy would have to stay after 20 years.
Yeah, so that's been a good run.
Yeah, and then so with drums, that is a good run. I enjoy playing in a band. Yeah, I mean, you drum, you do the electrical work. What about surf? You build surfboards as well. That's another thing that I wanted to.
Yeah, that was. So when I was a kid, we didn't really delve into my surfing addiction.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, man, I was eaten up with surfing, dude.
You said that Uncle Steve taught you how to surf?
Yeah, but I mean, I was really getting good in high school. And I mean, I would drive from Richmond to Virginia Beach. When I didn't have your license, I'd have your granddaddy driving me down there.
Really?
Yeah, or I'd get down there somehow, some way,
one way or another.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just addicted to it, dude. I loved it. I wanted to be a professional surfer, and I wanted to shape surfboards. I wanted to do all that stuff.
That's cool.
And I mean, I missed prom because I wanted to go surfing. I had a girlfriend. Her name was Kim. And she was talking about going to prom, and I was like, I'm not going to prom.
I gotta go surfing.
There's waves. There's a little, I still remember the number for Surfline. It's 757-428-1877. You call it right now, they're going to say, hey, this is WRV Surf Report. Guarantee it.
Yeah, I believe it.
I know that number. Yeah, I know that number by heart. I've known it since I was a kid. You going to call it?
No, but I think I do have it saved in my phone.
I've known that number since I was in the 9th grade, and I've memorized it. And, yeah, so I missed prom to go surfing, and then
I don't.
You don't.
I don't. I did at one point though.
Yeah, I missed prom to go surfing, and when we went to beach week, dude, everybody was partying. I was surfing. Oh yeah, because I wanted to enter contests, which I did.
Yeah, you did. You did. I remember going to a couple contests with you when I was like a little kid. Well, I didn't go. I guess.
No, you went. Yeah. You were there. The last contest I surfed in, I think, was in 1999.
Okay, so I would have been 3 maybe.
Yeah, it was in Virginia Beach. It was the East Coast Surfing Championships. Cool. I might have surfed in one more after that, but that's the last one I remember. Okay. Because it was Hurricane Dennis.
Okay.
Dennis
when the championship took place.
Yeah. Okay. During the hurricane. Yeah. I got eliminated, and I went down the beach and surfed by the pier and almost drowned.
Oh God.
The freaking undertow got me. I wiped out. And I stood up, and it sucked me under, and I remember thinking to myself, oh, crap.
You couldn't get your breath, or you couldn't get your legs under you.
Yeah, I couldn't get my legs underneath. Yeah. It was just like sucking me out, but anyway.
I think I've heard that story, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just addicted to surfing, and then I guess years later. So, actually, you know what? It was very therapeutic for me.
What's
between the years of 2012 and 2020, I really got back into surfing.
That's when I kind of picked it up a little bit.
Yep. And in 2016 or 15, I decided I wanted to try shaping. That's when I made your board and your sister's board and that one I gave to Matt. So I shaped from 2016 to 2020. And that was really therapeutic for me because I was down from Albus Electric being a failure. I mean, it took me a long time to get over being a failure.
I don't blame you. I mean, yeah, I feel like a failure now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I don't feel like a failure anymore because I realized that that's not what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get all religious on you and everything, but I have been reading my Bible lately.
Sure.
And I've been listening to podcasts on this and that and the other things about the Bible. And the one thing I have learned is that God has a plan for you. And evidently owning Albus Electric was not in his plan because the way I see it, back then I didn't need God. I didn't need that in my life. I didn't need Jesus. I didn't need God. I was making my own way. Well, guess what? My own way didn't work. So my theory is that I was not being very humble or thankful for what I had done with the talent that was given to me,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And so this was his way of saying, hey, dude, you need to be a little more thankful for what I've given you.
Yeah.
And do this. And so now here I am, and I'm looking back at all this. And this is just recently that I've started delving into this. But looking back on all of this, this is where I'm supposed to be. And all that was a process to get to this point because I'm happier than I've ever been.
Nice. That's good.
I've got a great job. My family is awesome.
Hey, thanks.
My daughter and you're doing great. She's doing good. My dogs, I got 2 good. Well, you got one good dog. I got the other good dog. Everything's going wonderful. We have a wonderful home.
Yeah, you just built a new house.
Yeah. And I look back on all that and I'm like, I wouldn't have any of this if I had stayed on the course that I was going, not being grateful, not being thankful. So now extremely grateful and thankful.
All right, yeah, I can't blame you for that.
And I'm starting to truly believe that, you know, this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is going to be the rest of my life. Now, if I can get these braces off of me,
yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Where my shoulders, so I can get back in the water and start surfing.
Elbow looks crazy.
Yeah, but I have discovered that, you know, with the surfing and the shaping, I spent a lot of time in that shaping room by myself. And that was the one thing that I didn't rush through. You know how when I'm always working, I'm like, watch out, get out of the way. You know, let's do it quick. We got to do it quick. Well, that's the
flashlight straight.
Yeah, that's the make money mentality that I had, right? You got to do it fast to get paid, to get, you know, to make any money. When I was doing those surfboards, man, I mean, it would take me weeks to build those things because I'd take my time. They were beautiful.
It did take a long
They were
time.
beautiful in my eyes.
They're
I thought
well
they were
made.
great.
I like them. They're well made.
And the better I got at it, you know, I mean, the more I worked at it, the better I got. And then I started working at 40 Toes with Matt.
Oh yeah. That.
Yeah, it taught me how to fiberglass. I worked there for free. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I never got paid there. I told him, I said, look, if you teach me how to fiberglass and polish these things and make them look beautiful, I will come in here and take out the trash every Saturday for free.
It's the same deal you had with the sandwich lady.
Yeah,
the
pretty
restaurant.
much. So, yeah, I went down there for over a year with him every weekend.
Yeah.
And I know your mom was probably pretty mad.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, she's a very tolerant one.
Yeah, I don't know how you got away with all. I'm just kidding.
I don't either.
I'm just kidding.
Well, between 2016 and 2019, I was still coming out of my funk.
Yeah, yep.
So she was probably a little fed up with me. So
I hear you.
Long story short, surfing's been very good to me. Drums have been very good to me. Electrical work's been very good to me.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for all I've experienced and all I've done. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like you found your niches, like you found your things in life that you're supposed to be in. Drums, surfing, electrical work.
It's like I'm 56 years old and things have finally leveled out for me.
I got another 26 years till I can chill out.
Well, things have leveled out as far as, you know, I don't know. I'm just finding things are coming easier.
Life's starting to get good.
Yeah. Life's starting to get good.
That's good.
It was good before, but
yeah.
Now that I'm over the fact that I was a complete loser and a failure and I lost my business and I almost, you know, ruined 12 families' lives and all that.
Turned it all around.
You know what? None of that was my fault.
No, that was definitely not. It was all kind of external.
It was. I mean, I'm not saying, because, you know, your mom and I were also doing the Family Fun Center thing.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. So we had invested some time and money into that.
Yeah.
That fell through because that was at the same time. I mean, so yeah, we had a lot of money out there. We had that condo.
You had a lot of stuff going on.
We were stretched thin. I don't know how your mother kept her sanity and all that.
I don't know how either of you did it.
Because I didn't.
2 kids.
I snapped. I quit.
Oh yeah.
I quit. That was what I had trouble dealing with at the end. It between like in 2012 is when it hit me that I was a quitter. I quit. I quit on your mom. I quit on the family. I quit on these families. I quit on Albus Electric. I just quit. And I couldn't, I'm not a quitter. I couldn't understand why I just quit.
Right.
But I did, you know, I mean, what am I going to say? I did. I quit and I didn't even try. I didn't even try to go back. Other people I know were going through the same thing. My buddy, Craig Waters, he had a bunch of people work for him. He's still in business for himself. It's just him and one other guy. He's had 2 strokes. You know, my buddy Jamie Atkins, he had a bunch of people working for him. He's down to him and 2 other guys. You know, he's
doing health wise okay.
He's younger than I am. He was a helper of mine at Humphrey Electric, but I mean, you know, he seems to be doing all right. He's a little overweight and everything, but
stressed, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're all stressed out and everything.
That's the main thing. You seem way less stressed. You seem happier. You seem, I mean, you're making more money, I think, than you were before.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So.
When we did.
I think you're doing all right. I think it worked out.
I think Albus Electric's best year was 2004. I think we did over $1 million in business. Sheesh. I think it was like 1.4 million or something.
That was the year I got an Xbox, coincidentally.
Yeah. I thought we had done 4.1 million, but your mom corrected me and said 1.4.
Oh, okay.
And I only made $58,000 that year.
Right.
That's chump change.
You personally, like
me personally.
Yeah,
I mean, I had guys that worked for me that made $70,000 that year. You know, working overtime. Yeah,
are you making more than you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was only getting paid when I could afford to pay myself.
Yeah, because you're paying everyone else first and then paying yourself,
right.
I guess. Man, well, yeah. I mean, you seem happier. You seem.
I'm a lot happier.
Yeah, you seem happier. You seem.
I'm right where I'm supposed to be, Tyler.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Look at Louie looking at me.
Yeah, Louie agrees with you. Well, I guess that pretty much.
Unless you got any other questions.
Yeah, I think that just about sums up all my questions I had for you. Now I know the whole story.
That's your old man's life all in a nutshell.
Well, we abbreviated. It's
it's
your whole life in an hour, 50 minutes or whatever. But
Are there any other stories you heard that you need me to elaborate on? Any other funny stories? Dumb stories?
Top of my head,
followed in by shark stories?
Do you have any followed in by shark stories?
Yeah, I got followed in by sharks surfing down in the Outer Banks.
You should tell that one.
Well, there's a couple times. So one time, your mom and I were in Florida when we were dating, and we drove out onto the beach, and she wanted to go get a drink, so she left. She comes back, and there's this big crowd of people, and they're all standing there pointing out. She just drives on by them and goes back to where we were spotted. I come back in, and I'm like, did you see that? She's like, where were you been? I was like, I was being followed in by a hammerhead shark.
Oh, no.
She's like, was that large group of people was looking at? I was like, yeah, that's what they were looking at.
Me getting followed by a shark.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
I have a couple stories like that. We'll save that for the next episode.
Okay, we can do it. Yeah.
Actually, we should do another interview where you just talk about music and surfing.
Okay,
and I can tell you all about all my surfing stories and stuff.
I was thinking about that with the show. Naming it Work Friends might have been a mistake because I'm kind of limited now. But hey, whatever.
That's right.
I'll change it to the Albus Experience or something.
There you go.
But yeah, well, I guess that pretty much sums it all up. Most of my questions I think I had for you.
Well, I was a little nervous about this, but thanks.
Yeah, that's all right. I was a little nervous about it.
Now you know more than you need to know about me.
It's okay. I got more questions still, I'm sure. We might do another interview one day. But
That's fine. I'm up for that.
But yeah. Well, so
I like talking to you. I can do that.
Thanks. I like having you on. Well, so this is another episode of the Work Friends podcast. Yeah, this was second episode of season 2. Yeah, season 2. So we are back, baby. But yeah, so we'll come at you next week with another episode. Thank you for listening. I guess if you could please like us and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. On Spotify, definitely give us 5 stars and please follow us. And
check out Fat Skippy on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, check out Fat Skippy on
and MWM Surfworks on Facebook.
There you go. That's where he makes surfboards. So MWM Surfworks, Fat Skippy on Facebook and Instagram, and then Work Friends Podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming on, Dad. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do it again.
All right, we will. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.